Alright, so I got a Lancer Tactical M4 to do a video on. Now this is a pretty old gun from what the customer described. He said he's had it for, I think it was 2 years. So this is like one of the first Gen 2s that came out of the Lancer Tactical, the basic models. But he said this is like the third gearbox that he's replaced in here, and he's burnt through motors. I don't know how. It seems like he's had bad luck or something. Now the motor, or the gearbox that was inside of this gun when he sent it to me, is Lancer Tactical, and it's got a quick change spring system, and it was just all stock Lancer Tactical. So apparently he had bought an OEM replacement for this gun, but he said he went through a couple gearboxes, which is unfortunate because you shouldn't really run through gearboxes. If something breaks, you should be able to fix it, but apparently he doesn't have any techs around him that could fix simple mistakes, simple parts broken. So let's start from the back and just go to the front. This is a Magpul stock. It's the EPS. Now, I'm a fan of these stocks because, one, it's super easy to get to the battery compartment, and two, you can fit a lot of batteries in here. So there's enough space on the crane stock tube on either side that you can fit a 11.1 LiPo. Now, this is a 1300 milliamp 25 to 50C, so that's why it's too long. But if you get a 1200 to 15 to 25, it fits within that gap with without sticking out. But on this one, I can just stick it in the buffer tube because it's a little bit longer. Now the person that owns this gun is going to be using one of these. It's a 2000 milliamp 15 to 25C. So a lot of milliamp. The power ratings, your average for an airsoft battery, but they are 11.1s and get some pretty good rate of fire out of this gun. Moving forward, we have a plastic buffer tube with a metal sling mount, plastic body, standard features, non-functioning bolt lock, safe semi-full auto, a charging handle which actually has a little bit of an extended latch, which is cool. Polycarbonate body, or not polycarbonate, like a polymer. It's a plastic. It's actually pretty decent. Nothing worse than a G&G combat machine, honestly. Now, the rail system on this gun's plastic, and what you're paying about $100, like a little over for this gun. So it's cool that you do get a key mod, a look-alike, so you can put stuff on the left, right, and bottom, but these 90-degree and 45-degree angled ones are way too big. They're just for looks. It comes with 2 black rail segments. Well, he has 2 black rail segments on here and a tan, so I don't know what came with it, what didn't. He might have bought these aftermarket. The hand stop on here, I think, might be Strike Industries. There's no markings, but I can't remember what he said. It might be like NC Star 2 or something like that. It's a cool angled foregrip, and not many people have these kind. This is cool. A lot of people use the Magpul. This one's CNC'd aluminum, and it's pretty cool. It's got a quick detached swing loop right there, which is actually interesting. The barrel on here is, I think it's 14.5 inches, and it's metal, and he has a Crytek flash hider on here. And, oh, I forgot about the grip. It's a PTS pistol grip. Internals, it's got a stock rotary hop-up barrel and bucking. For the gearbox, it's got a HPA, or not HPA brand, it's Speed brand trigger. In black, it's the curved one. It has a Spectre Mark II BTC, a non-Bluetooth. He purchased it, not from me, he purchased it and sent it to me, because they're in stock. I don't know if they're still in stock anymore, but he got 2 of them, one for this gun and one for his future DSG, which I'm going to be building in a month or 2. It's got SHS 1301 gears, the stock Lancer Tactical metal rack piston, which is fine. Lonex piston head, because nothing else sealed inside this gun. Everything shot like crap. It was shooting like 300 FPS with every other piston head, even with the full cylinder. And it's got an ASG M115 spring, quick detached spring system, and I can actually do that by just taking off the buffer tube. I don't have to take the gearbox out, which is phenomenal. And then the motor is one of the G&G 35K Titans. As far as settings on the MOSFET itself, I think it's there's 0 active braking on this, and then the precocking I think is 5 milliseconds, and so it precocks a pretty good amount. Everything else functions fine. Rate of fire, I actually have it delayed by 5 milliseconds. Currently, with this battery, which is not the one he's going to use, it's probably like 30 smack dab, but with the 2000 milliamp, which I will actually fire in this gun and show you the rate of fire goes up, and it's probably about 33 with this, so he's going to be getting around that. The goal was above 30, around 30. The FPS goal was between 350 and 400, but unfortunately it's only doing 350, which isn't awful. It's a little bit above 350, so he could take this indoor if he wants, but this is going to be like his balanced build for outdoor, semi and full auto. His DSG is going to be mainly for indoor, but if he does take it outdoors, obviously it'll be a pretty incredible, like 40 plus rounds a second. This one's just around 30. So I don't think I'm missing any of the other internals. It's got steel bushings. Didn't see the need to replace those. And if, you know, stock cylinder head, nozzle. The nozzle does have a little bit of an air leak, but it's still okay. That's probably where I'm losing like that 10, 15 FPS, because the M115 should be around 370. But it's just a little low, but that's okay. It's not running a super heavy spring, so it's fairly quiet. It sounds good. Alright, so let's chrono it. I have a GMP mag with .2s. He uses this magazine. .2s through the chrono here. 352, 351, 351, 349, 351, 351, 348, 348, 347, 346, 349. So you're seeing about 350 with a .2, which is 1.14 joules, which is perfect. That's indoor CQB FPS and decent for outdoors. I mean, you guys know I play at 350 outdoors all the time. I would recommend using .2s indoor and out. That is with overhop. Actually, a pretty decent amount of overhop. Let's go ahead and turn it down just a tad. So I turned the hop up down just a little bit, and at chronos just a little bit higher. It was 352, 353, 350, 352, 351, 352, 354. So just a little bit higher. We were seeing like 350, 348, and now we're seeing about 352 to 354. 29.9, so 349 feet per second. So it's keeping its FPS, and we're shooting exactly 30 rounds a second. Couldn't get any closer. 29.9. Trigger pull is nothing. It's in a safe direction. Trust me. But there's no trigger pull. It is an adjustable trigger, so I adjusted that, which is cool. We were actually going to use a blade trigger in here, one of the Tap Airsoft blade triggers, and it actually broke, which is the first time I've ever seen one of them break. I wasn't using it. I just went in my basement where the gun was laying, and it was broken off. So my brother had friends over all week, or all weekend, so I don't know if they messed with it or if my brother dropped it or something, or if I dropped it. I can't remember. But I just switched to this trigger. Didn't charge him anymore because he already paid for the Tap one. And this is honestly better. It really is. So trigger response is pretty good, even with like no pre-cocking. In fact, there might be no active braking and no pre-cocking. I cannot remember. That's what I couldn't remember. I know there's no pre-cocking or no active braking, but I don't think there's any pre-cocking on this either. So the piston's like almost always all the way forward. I would still recommend to the owner to plug a 9.6 or a 7.4 and fire a few times on semi, just to make sure that spring is all the way decompressed. So you can see there the trigger response really is good. There's, like I said, I think it's cycle completion, so it's a little bit slower, but not a crazy amount, and it's less stress on the gun to run no active braking. Okay, you saw it there first. 100% feeding on full auto. Again, this is around 30, so it's going to be a little bit higher with the battery he's going to use. But 30 rounds a second, there was not a single misfeed on this thing. It just put him downrange. So, yeah, definitely recommend the EPMs and the GMPs. It's decent. It's okay. You know, for a budget gun, like, I'm just shooting some random trees out there, and I'm hitting them almost every time. Alright, let's try a little bit of full auto, and then I'm going to switch to the other battery. Just swapping the battery here. So let's go ahead and put some more rounds down range. As you can see, I just swapped it. Trigger response is quicker. Actually, pretty significantly quicker. You can tell now it's pre-cocking with a more powerful battery. Rate of fire is definitely higher. Running out of ammo here. You can see that I'm peppering that though. Literally no difference. Shot the whole magazine and fed the whole thing. So I know I haven't been too active on YouTube. I upload like once a week now normally. That's just because I'm busy. The weather's pretty crappy, so I haven't really gotten to go play. I'm busy as heck as far as people sending me guns. I've done tons and tons of guns. There's just been a few guns recently that I've just felt like, this isn't worthy for a video. I kind of took a step back and thought to myself, like, all of my videos are the same. And I know you guys probably realize this. All of these overview videos on these guns that I work on pretty much the same. I'm using the same gears, you know, I'm tossing it together. I talk about the gun and I shoot it. It's the same thing every time, which is nice. You know, some people like that. There's not a lot of this sort of content on YouTube. A lot of people don't work on guns and then post videos and give people shout outs, you know, as far as who sent them the gun and all that sort of stuff. I don't see that very often on YouTube, where customers regularly send somebody a gun and they regularly make videos on the customer's guns. I just don't see that very often. So it's something different as far as the scale of airsoft on YouTube. But it's kind of boring, and I understand that. So a few of the guns I've just kind of tossed to the side and said, no, I'll just send it back to the customer. It's not worthy of a video. It's just because I don't want to bore people. I don't want to waste my time uploading, you know, videos when I could be working on guns and making money, or at work, my actual job, and making money. It's not all about money, but I just don't want to bore you guys as well. But this gun is great. This gun is awesome. So the guy that owns this, feel lucky I'm making a video on your gun and uploading it because it shoots great. There's been two guns that I have literally upstairs that one of the customers asked me to make a video on, and I don't know that I'm going to because it's going to be kind of a boring video, but we'll see. I'm going to upload this video today though because I got off work today. Thank you, Jesus. So I'm going to have a video going up today. So let's shoot this some more. So trigger response is really good. No complaints there. Try some full auto here. That's pretty much it for me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Hopefully there will be some better quality guns sent my way that I'll be able to make videos on to get more out. And plus, hopefully I'll be able to go play soon. I just kind of have felt like not playing, quite honestly, because Airsoft's taken a pretty crappy turn just the past 2 years, quite honestly. It's not just something that just happened or anything, but for the past 2 years, Airsoft's just, it's been garbage. It's been so whack. There's so many issues, and I'm not going to even try to list them here because this is not a rant video. So, I'll see you on the next video, guys.